All right, good morning, everybody. So, the reason we're talking to you guys today is because we just want to talk about the goodness of God. The goodness of God to not just impact our lives at one event, to not just save us at one event, but to carry us through all the way. He continues to change us from one degree of glory to the next. And so we just want to share with you guys something that a way that God has continued to change who we are, how we think, how we see. That's what Jesus talks about. Change the way that you think. And he does. He does that. So we just want to share that. And what's incredible, God's sovereignty. So a month ago, I talked to Mark, and I'm like, God's put something on our heart to share, and he's just like, okay, go for it. He didn't ask what it was. I didn't tell him what it was. And it's suffering. How we view suffering. How we view suffering is incredibly impactful. And Jesus doesn't just change how we think about politics or our workplace or our family life or whatever. He changes how we view everything. And so we just want to share a little bit about how Jesus has changed how we see, how we perceive. So this is going to be a little different. So I'm going to ask Nikki some questions, and she's going to give some answers. So the first question is, can you give us a rundown of the injuries that you sustained from your accident when you got hit by a semi? What happened?
Okay, so my left elbow was shattered. The humerus bone in each arm was broke, and they put plates and screws in both. Fractured my left wrist. Had an open pelvic fracture. Both hip sockets were broke and screwed back together. It fractured my tailbone. Had compound fractures in both my femurs. They put rods and screws in, and broke my ankle. And I have multiple areas of nerve damage. And then last but not least, my traumatic brain injury.
Okay. So how has... She need to...
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
So how has those injuries, how have they affected your life? How are they affecting your life?
So I have pain in my arms every day. There's pain in one or both of my legs on some days, pain in my knees on some days, pain in my pelvis on some days, also my wrist. It hurts some days, and then I struggle with a lot of nerve pain on a lot of days. And then with my traumatic brain injury, I have significant memory issues, such as forgetting random things or forgetting someone's name, even if it's someone I know very well. Or sometimes I might use the wrong name on you guys, even though I know your right name. And then also, it's very frustrating. So anyway, sometimes I struggle with communicating different things, like trying to find the words of what's in my head. Like with these questions, some of them were hard for me to figure out how to answer or how to word the answer. And there's some things Kevin will say to me or ask me that I'm like, what's that word mean? I don't know.
True story.
Yeah. And then whenever there's a lot of stimulation, like lights, noises, new information to process, it's like my brain will sometimes just short circuit or get stuck in a loop. And this has especially been tendency to happen like when I'm driving in areas that I'm not real familiar with. That can be really difficult. Between the pain that comes with the driving and the attention needed to safely drive, I try not to get behind the wheel any more than I have to. And I have gotten lost before, just walking out of the bathroom at a gas station, and I did get a lot of ridicule for that one, but I found my way back to the car.
So have you ever asked God to to just completely take away your pain.
Yes, I have. But through all this, he's teaching me that for me to be praying in his name, in his character, is to be praying that he would teach me and help me instinctively draw closer to him through the pain. And I recognize my need for him more and more. I pray for comfort and strength, and he provides me with that. There was one Sunday that we came here to Shifters, and I came forward and y'all prayed for me because I was having severe leg pain. And it went away that day. It did. Right after you guys prayed for me, the pain went away. But it's been back since. And he chose to take it away that day, and he gives me relief, and it's such an incredible display of his power.
So you've prayed for him to take the pain away, but have you prayed for him to heal you, to just completely heal you?
Have I prayed for him to completely heal me?
Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
Okay, so is he healing you?
Yes.
So how is that? How is that he's healing you? You say you've asked him to take the pain away, and there are occasions that he does, but there's occasions that he doesn't, right? So how then do you see that he's healing you?
So he's used the pain to teach me more about his goodness. Like sometimes, for example, when the pain gets bad, he overwhelms me with a comfort and a strength and pulls me out of a selfish, depressed mindset. He's using the pain to heal my perspective, my mindset, and in this, he's healing that poor me mindset that can be easy to have.
All right, so what are some of the things that God has been teaching you specifically through this?
So I remember when I first came home from the hospital after the accident, being in the hospital and being in rehab, and so I guess, 12 weeks later, we came home, and that was around the time I first started coming back into my head, like having a realization of anything.
I got on this lines and clubbed.
So anyway, I don't remember ever being angry with God about the accident or my mangled, painful body, but I remember God telling me that somebody, somewhere, is going to be benefiting from this. And I never ever dreamed that it would be me or us or our marriage. I never thought that's what it would be. But God not only began healing our marriage, he used it as a wake-up call, slap us in the face to get our attention and show us and tell us that our priorities were screwed up, that we were not putting him first, and he should be and needed to be our number one. Not each other, not ourselves, but him. That's something that he's still changing in us.
Yeah. Okay. So talked about like some of the things that he's taught you, but how is he changing how you think? How is he changing how you see things, how you perceive things?
Well, for one, I don't think as clearly now as I used to back in the day. Oops, sorry, I got lost here on my phone. Okay, it's harder now for me to problem solve, for me to remember things, for me to comprehend some things or understand comprehensive things. My day-to-day life is just harder, but my day-to-day life is so much better. Our marriage is so much better. My relationship with Jesus is so much better. And it just continues to grow. My relationships are richer and deeper, and I have a hope now that I didn't used to have. He continues changing me more and more to see and experience his goodness, and that his goodness isn't tied to just whatever the circumstances are. He's changing how we view things, how we see difficulties, challenges, and suffering.
All right. Thanks, Sugar.
You're welcome.
So last year I got up and I shared, I just shared some questions that God has has given me to ask, for me to ask him. I got up a year ago and shared that. And one of those questions was, how do you view suffering? Do you view suffering any different than any unbeliever does? And so that was the question I asked him. How do I view suffering? Do I view suffering the same as any unbeliever, the same as anyone who doesn't profess that Jesus is the one they want to follow? And the reality is, so God, in these difficulties, God has changed our view of suffering. He has changed us to see value not in suffering. I wouldn't suggest anyone to go out and get a snoot full of suffering just for the sake of suffering. But suffering's a part of life. It's a part of life for every human. It's going to happen. And I believe Mark's right. It's going to happen more and more. And so in preparation for that suffering to happen more and more, for us to ask God, how do I view suffering? Do I view suffering the same as any unbeliever views suffering? Or do I view suffering as a follower of you, Jesus? He's opened our eyes to see purpose where we used to see worthlessness. And that's incredible. Like, that's game changing. And so if you're here and you're suffering, you're going through trials of various kinds, whatever, this is good news. This is good news that there is an offer to see, to perceive, to experience life in a way that changes everything, in a way that you experience peace and comfort that surpasses all understanding. Romans 8 tells us that the mindset of the Spirit is set on the things of the Spirit, and the mindset of the flesh is set on the things of the flesh. That the mindset of the flesh is death, but the mindset of the Spirit, that's life and peace. Life and peace that isn't tied to our circumstances, that isn't tied to what's going right or what's going wrong. It's tied to Jesus, the immovable, the immutable character of the creator of the entire cosmos. And that's life-changing. And we just wanted to share that with you guys.